Hey guys, this is Corey with Lane Silencers. I just wanted to discuss a little bit the disassembly and cleaning of our suppressors. We've had a lot of inquiries about the proper way of taking apart and cleaning them. They're simple design, they're relatively simple to take apart and clean, but I just want to go over it real quick. Sometimes they can be tough to get apart, they can be tough to clean, so you may want to soak them ahead of time in a solvent. We use, for the titanium, we use Spartans High Acid. Some people use CLR or Hornady brass cleaning solution. Whatever you're using to attack the carbon, you may want to soak it ahead of time because it can make this whole process a lot easier. But to get started, easiest way to take them apart is take a table vise, open the table vise to the width of the flats. You've got flats on the back of the cap. Open it up to the width of the flats. Don't lock it down tight to it. Just open it up to that width so you can use it like a wrench. And once it's on there, you basically just turn the suppressor counterclockwise. Now at the factory, we lock these down tight. They're locked down snug because we don't want them to leak. So you may take a little torque. We use rubber gloves to get a little grip. Get on it. Once it's locked down, just give it a good turn counterclockwise, and you'll pop that cap loose. Once the cap's loose, the cap comes off. The core pushes out the front. Easiest way at home for the guys to get that core out the front is take a plastic handle screwdriver, set it in the back. Now make sure that you're only touching the face of this suppressor with the plastic of the screwdriver, because you do not want to ding the face of that. Any dings or marks are gonna mess with your alignment and probably ruin the core of your suppressor. So be careful on that part of it. Take your plastic handle screwdriver, then you can take a hammer. We have a rubber mallet, but a regular hammer will work. And you just smack the end of that screwdriver and drive that core out the front. Now of course this one is dirty, but it's not that dirty, so it comes apart relatively easy. There'll be an O-ring in the back. You just pull that out, set it aside next to your cap. Now you have them in separate components. You can now take them and clean them. We use Spartans High Acid, but we also use a sonic cleaner. We soak them in overnight in the acid, pull the tube out, run a paint roller through the tube to clean the tube out. Then we'll just turn the sonic cleaner on the for a little while, knock off the chunks. When you take it out, there will be a few chunks left on the inside. You'll either use a screwdriver or an O-ring pick, just knock those chunks off. Once she's clean, you assemble it the same way, only in reverse. Check that O-ring in the front side, make sure it's not damaged. If it's damaged, replace it. You should get 2 replacement O-rings on your pouch when you receive the suppressor. Replace it. Also, when we assemble them here at the factory, we line up. If you look at the hoods, you look at the flats, we line basically our engraving with those flats, and that'll give you a smooth finish at the end because we hand polish them later. If it's turned, you may have a little overlap on one side or the other. So just for cosmetic reasons, you can assemble it facing that same way. It should be assembled the way it came from us. Drop your white O-ring into the back. Kind of press it down, get it started. Now this cap has a shoulder on the face. That shoulder, when you tighten this down, will compress that O-ring into its O-ring groove in the core, and it should make a nice seal. So now we've got it tight, hand tight. Set it back in the vise. Give it a little bit by hand to where it's seated pretty good. Now we take our rubber glove or whatever you can use to get some grip on it. Put it towards the top because you don't want the tube to turn on the core. And then give it a good snug. And don't be afraid, you're not going to hurt the suppressor. Give it as tight of a grip as you can. The tighter you get, the less likely you are to have a leak. Now when you're done, and you go shoot it the first time, you may want to come back and check it again just to make sure that that it hasn't, the O-ring hasn't seated, because you may be able to get another 1/8 inch turn or so after it's been used. That'll ensure that it's sealed. Now let's discuss what happens if it is so carboned up you just can't drive that core out. So now we've taken it apart. That core just does not want to come out with the hammer. You beat on it, you're uncomfortable giving it any more. You can always send it to us, guys. We'll clean them for you for free. It's just a matter of getting it shipped to us. But if it's really tough and you want to get it yourself, another thing you can do is you can take a burnout barrel that's threaded, cut it off, use that. We sell these. We have these little tools that we make. That can screw into the end. And now you have the leverage. You could actually smash it on the floor, on a table, drive it out, or use I think these are about $30 at Menards or Lowe's or Home Depot. You can use a little air chisel, put it right in that opening, drive it right out. So if it's too tough, you can go that way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have questions, always give us a call. I appreciate you guys buying Lane silencers.